Why hello there everybody, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today we are building a cute little village and neighborhood for Mathilda and Nan. It's going to be lots of stone, lots of pine, lots of blue tones. It's going to be really cute, so let's just get to it. So I am going to be building this village and neighbourhood in this absolutely massive area at the back of my island, which up until this point has kind of just been left blank and used as an absolute dumping zone for lots of the Nookazon projects that I've done, mainly in most recent times the video where I bought and opened 1,000 mystery grab bags from Nookazon. I had to do a lot of clear up before this video. Every tile was covered with an item and my home storage was absolutely full, so it took a lot of wang jangling to try and get everything out the way and cleared away. But yeah, so today is the day that I'm finally actually doing something cool with this area. And the first thing I wanted to do, which is a little bit off the rails for me, is building a sunken waterfall. I have no idea if I did this right. This is the first one I made. I kind of just winged it a bit. Maybe I should have looked up a tutorial, but we live and we learn. But anyway, this little area back here is going to be where Mathilda will live. A few of you who might have seen my most recent community post where I did a poll on whose house we should decorate next might be a bit like, what, Mathilda? Because the options were between Maddie and Nan. And funnily enough, when I started building this, Nan was in the lead, hence why I did this. But then I checked back later that day and it was exactly 50-50. And I checked back again this morning and I think that Maddie might have pulled ahead. So don't worry, to everybody who voted for Maddie, she will be coming soon. But today we are going for Nan and Mathilda. And I wanted to include Mathilda in this little village neighborhood, which this area wasn't actually meant to be a village and neighborhood. I was initially intending it to be a kind of market area, but then I just wasn't vibing with that idea anymore because it was one that I came up with months ago, back when I actually used an app online to design my island in 3D, which was really fun. But yeah, I just decided, you know what, I want to give these amazing villagers the space that they deserve, and they both kind of share a similar house exterior with the very kind of dark tones, and I definitely want to expand this area. As you can see the top level behind us there, I won't be touching that one bit, and please excuse if you see any trash up there. Again, it's just from that Nookazon video and I kind of lost the will to live with a clearing anymore, so up there is going to be left for a kind of part 2 at some point in the future. I'm not 100% sure when. I really want to scan back in Roscoe because he is one of my favorite villagers, but for the moment he's just not been on my island. But yeah, he also has a very dark exterior to his house as well, so at some point I want to scan him back in. And the whole kind of vibe with this area in general was kind of going back to a design aesthetic, which is one of my favorites, but which I haven't actually implemented since starting to redesign my island. And that is some kind of like stone textures with the pine trees, and then also lots of blue tones. So you'll see that coming through mostly in the flowers. There's something about the blue flowers that I love in this game. But yeah, and just kind of like the very foresty vibes. I was really happy with this, and I don't know if at some point down the line I might change out the path to the default stone path that we have in the game. Not 100% sure yet, but for now I'm really happy with how this turned out. I am so happy that I decided to push the boat out a little bit and try something new with the sunken waterfall. I thought that turned out really well. You know, it's just a little one, nothing crazy like some creators can do, but yeah. For anyone who has seen any of my speed builds before, I don't know if you'll be able to notice, but I kind of tried to take a slightly more minimal approach to the decorating this time round. I've got to the point now where quite a lot of the builds that I've been doing are starting to intersect on my island, mainly in the kind of middle area where Hazel's house, Molly's house, and Marina's house are, and they're all kind of in quite close proximity to each other. And I've kind of felt recently, while kind of running through those areas when I've just been playing the game, that it's quite busy, because I did try to jam pack every single tile with a texture, you know, like a pattern on the floor, and then also, you know, some kind of item. And it's really busy, I found, and it's beautiful to look at in pictures, you know, not too much, but just when I'm kind of running through there, it's quite kind of distracting in a way, and it kind of looks very muddled. And so because this was such a big area, I really wanted to try to avoid that with this build today. And so I really tried to pull it back a little bit to actually leave some blank spaces on the ground, and to just go back to being content with that and just having a little bit of area to breathe, I guess. I don't know if any of you guys, if that makes sense to anybody else. But yeah, just pulling it back a little bit, going it a little bit more simple, and I think in a way it's even more effective than having everything totally jam-packed in there, like I have done with some of these smaller areas in the past. And so, do you know what? I think that at some point in the future, again, I'm hoping to start streaming at some point next month, maybe, touch wood, everything goes well. But do you know what? At some point in the future, either in a video or in a stream or whatever, I might go back to some of these areas that I've decorated more recently and take stuff out and actually, you know, just give these areas a little bit more breathing room. That's just something that I've been thinking about a little bit recently. But do you know what? Maybe I'm just thinking a little bit too into it. For anybody who has seen those speed builds that I've done recently, again, that's Hazel's house, Molly's house, and Marina's house. What do you think? Because I did actually a while ago have to go back and modify Marina's house when I started doing Hazel's house and the kind of pumpkin farm that was next to her. So yeah, I love all the areas individually, but again, it's just kind of the way that it's come together. I'm not 100% satisfied. You can see here that we've actually just switched to the next day. Initially in this video, I wasn't actually going to decorate Nan's garden, and I think that's because I just had a little bit of Animal Crossing fatigue for the day. I'd spent, again, about 2 or 3 hours clearing the area ready for the build itself, and then I actually had to do the build, and by that point I was just kind of sapped of inspiration. So I decided to come back this morning and actually just fill in Nan's house. One thing that I love doing whenever I'm decorating a village's area is going onto the wiki and looking at what their hobby is and kind of a little bit of their personality, and then also looking at the interiors of their homes from previous games. And one thing that I noticed in the houses that she's had in previous games, I think GameCube version and Wild World, is that she had a bookcase wallpaper in her house. So I decided to bring in the little bookshelf right there. I love giving my villagers little picnic areas, so we gave her a little picnic blanket. I decided to use this red, even though it's kind of out of place a little bit, just because of the kind of red accents that we've got on the bookcase behind, and then also on the wee book that's on the little writing desk there. And also one thing that I noticed on the wiki was how, like, I think it was like a goal, it said, of hers was to become an illustrator. I'm not sure if that's something which you know, comes with New Horizons, or if that's kind of like a happy home designer kind of a thing. I'm not 100% sure, but I gave her a little writing desk. She also has the nature hobby, so I made sure to pack it with plants. And really interestingly, her home in Wild World has quite a lot of blue furniture in, which seems to be a bit of a departure from every other home that she's had in the game. So I definitely made sure to bring through a lot of the blue flowers that we've kind of had throughout this whole area. But we are now getting to the end screenshots of this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave a like. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them down below. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to join the Discord if you want to get to know me better, as well as many of the other amazing folks in this community. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again soon.